Good morning, Malaysia. Welcome to G7 TV Sports News. I'm Vhinoth, your host and reporter on duty. Today, I'm going to do something unusual. I'll be explaining a little bit on anatomy and physiology mechanisms in the sports tennis. While waiting for our reporter YING to arrive, I'll be explaining in depth what happens with your muscles when you are making that 163.7 mile per hour serve or that championship winning smash. Now, the first muscle we're going to talk about that is very much prevalent during a serve or a smash is the deltoid. The deltoid's location is its anterior head is located at the clavicle, whereas its lateral head is located at the acromion of the scapulae. Meanwhile, its posterior head is attached to the spine of the scapulae. Now, keeping our segment alive, the next muscle I'll be explaining that is involved in a serve or a smash is the supraspinatus. This supraspinatus is named for its location on the posterior aspect of the scapula, which is deep to the trapezius, a rotator cuff. Something you need to know about the supraspinatus is that it stabilizes the shoulder joint. It helps to prevent downward dislocations of the humerus, which often occurs when we're making that groundbreaking smash. The next muscle on our agenda is quite an infamous muscle. Of course, I'm talking about the biceps, to be more precise, the biceps bronchi or the biceps bronchi. Now, the biceps bronchi is a two-headed fusiform muscle which bellies unite at the insertion point. Insertion is made by common tendon into the radius tuberosity. The biceps bronchi flexes elbow joint and supinates forearms and is very much required to increase the agility and strength of the smash or serve made by the tennis player. Next, we invite Professor TIONG, an expert in human anatomy and physiology, to share this matching stage to explain to you in more detail on the anatomy and physiology of muscles involved in the game of tennis. Hello, Professor TIONG.
Hi, I'm YING. So basically, the smashing stage involved the latissimus dorsi, pectoralis major, and the triceps brachii muscles. The latissimus dorsi is the widest muscles in human body. It is relatively thin and covers almost all back muscles at the posterior trunk except the trapezius. Its origin can distinguish into four parts: the vertebral part, iliac part, costal part, and the scapular part. The insertion point of latissimus dorsi is the intertubercular sulcus of the humerus between pectoralis major and teres major muscles. The action involved by these muscles are the arm internal rotation, arm adduction, and arm extension at shoulder joint, and it also assists in respiration. So the second muscle is the pectoralis major muscle. It is a paired superficial muscle located on the anterior surface of the thoracic cage. The pectoralis major has a broad origin which divided into three parts: the clavicular part, sternocostal part, and the abdominal part. The insertion point of pectoralis major is the crest of greater tubercle of humerus. The actions involved are similar with the latissimus dorsi at the shoulder joint, and also it draws scapular anterior inferiorly at scapulothoracic joint. For the last muscle involved in the hitting of the ball, let me call another expert, Professor Tan, to tell you guys.
Hello, want me to talk about muscle involved when hitting the ball? The tricep brachii muscle? Okay. The tricep brachii muscle is a three-headed muscle of the arm which spans almost the entire length of the humerus. It has long head, middle head, and lateral head, and they are originated from different parts. The insertion point is at olecranon of ulna and fascia of forearm. This will control the extension of forearm at the elbow joint and the extension and adduction of the arm at the shoulder joint. And also, the shoulders are rotated when the ball is hit. It is completed by the internal and external obliques abdominal muscles. The internal abdominal obliques is a broad thin muscular sheath found on the lateral side of the abdomen, whereas the external abdominal oblique is a paired muscle located on the lateral side of the abdominal wall. This is where they originated, and they have different insertion point but same innervation and action. The insertion point for internal one is inferior borders of ribs, number 10 to 12, linea alba, pubic crest, and pecten pubis, and the insertion for the external one is linea alba, pubic tubercle, anterior half of the iliac crest. For action, when a bilateral contraction, there are trunk flexions and abdominal vesicles when compressed. And when unilateral contraction, there are lateral flexions and rotation of trunk. Yeah, that's all. Let's bring back to our reporter Vhinoth.
Thank you, Professor TIONG and Professor Tan. Now, to the viewers out there, we would like to indulge you with our special guest, a tennis coach, Dr. Tan, to tell us about the common tennis injuries.
Hi, I'm Hui. I'm going to share one of the most common tennis injuries, which is spondylolysis. Spondylolysis is the condition in the lower back where there is a defect or fracture in the part of the vertebra known as the pars interarticularis. It usually occurs in the lower lumbar spine, especially the L5 vertebra. Our lower back consists of a vertebra bone called upper and lower pars interarticularis that act as a link or bridge in vertebral processes of the spine-facet joint. When a player is playing tennis that involve hyperextension and repetitive rotation of spine, a fracture can occur in this pars bone due to the stress. The symptoms of spondylolysis is the experience of pain in one side of the lower back, especially when bending backwards, or feeling tenderness when touching the fracture side of the back. Spondylolysis will further deteriorate into spondylolisthesis. It is developed when the stress fractures weaken the bone so much until it is unable to maintain its proper position. The vertebra start to shift forward to adjacent vertebra and may affect the nerves. That's all about spondylolysis. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. I'll replace Vhinoth to be the reporter. I'm Tim, a medical assistant in the Gleaming Angels Hospital, Penang. Basically, the non-surgical treatment of spondylolysis focuses on immobilizing the spine. It's advised to avoid lifting as it will worsen the condition of the spine. Non-surgical approaches to treating distress fractures also includes back braces or medical corset. The braces and corset help to reduce the pressure placed on the tissues and provide additional support to the spine. Surgery such as minimally invasive spine surgery may be recommended for a condition if non-surgical treatment has not improved the condition. For the minimally invasive technique to be effective, the surgeon must locate the exact source of the pain. To achieve so, minimally invasive surgery utilizes a tubular retractor to gain access to the area that requires treatment. It is an instrument that moves a whole tissue so that a surgeon can reach a particular area. It moves aside and displaces the tissue instead of cutting through it. Fluoroscopy is a type of medical imaging that shows a continuous X-ray image on a monitor, much like X-ray movie. During a fluoroscopy procedure, an X-ray beam is passed through the body. The image is transmitted to a monitor so that the movement of the body part or an instrument can be seen in detail. With the function of fluoroscopy and tubular retractor, the surgeons have the ability to see and gain access to the surgical region in real time. Yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching today's sport news, brought to you by University of Malaya. Tomorrow at the same time, same place. Bye bye.